All right, ready to dive deep? Today we're looking at C3.ai.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're making some serious waves, in the enterprise AI world.
Hmm.
They want to be the platform, like the main one that businesses go to when they're, trying to build and run their AI, their whole AI setup.
I see, like the operating system for a company's AI.
Exactly,
That's a good grip.
exactly. But, with all the hype, all this buzz around C3.ai,
Yeah.
we got to figure out, is it for real?
Yeah.
Is it hype or is there something more?
Is it justified?
Yeah, is it justified?
Okay.
And you guys sent in a ton of research for this.
A lot to dig into.
We got a deep dive report, financial data, market analysis, even some Warren Buffett wisdom to sprinkle in there.
Oh, nice.
So,
It's a good question to be asking. There's so much potential in the AI space, but there's also a lot of noise.
yeah,
So to really get C3.ai, you got to break it down.
okay.
What are they doing? They basically offer two things, right? The C3 AI suite, that's their platform, where businesses can kind of build their own custom AI applications.
Right, like the DIY approach.
Exactly. And then they've got C3 AI applications. Those are pre-built AI solutions,
Okay,
but they're tailored, to specific industries.
so they're covering both bases.
Right.
You got the do-it-yourself, and then you got the, we already made it for you.
Off the shelf, yeah.
Yeah, off the shelf.
Exactly.
Now, what I find really interesting is this shift they made to consumption-based pricing,
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
like the way the cloud providers do it.
Like a subscription model?
Yeah, so instead of that big, huge upfront cost, customers pay as they go, only for what they use.
I see.
So what's the thinking there?
Well, that is a really fascinating move,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be really smart.
Oh.
Put yourself in the shoes of, a business leader.
Yeah.
In the past, AI was like, whoa, this is a huge investment up front.
Yeah.
It can be really scary.
Yeah. Intimidating.
Right. But with consumption-based, it's like, okay, I can test it out.
Nice.
Flip your toes in.
Exactly. You dip your toes in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You're not breaking the bank, right?
Yeah.
Makes it way more appealing to more companies.
Right, especially those who are like, I don't know about this whole AI thing.
Yeah, the hesitant ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does. It aligns them more with how businesses are already paying for those cloud services.
Exactly.
So we talked about how they do it. Now let's zoom out to the why.
Okay.
We're talking about this AI software market.
Huge market.
It's projected to hit, get this, $126 billion by 2025.
Wow.
And some analysts are saying
Oh, it gets bigger?
it gets bigger
Yeah.
with generative AI.
Of course.
It could reach 1.3 trillion by 2032.
That's insane.
I know, right?
That's the opportunity they're after, C3.ai.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, it's a crowded space.
Okay.
You've got these giants, right?
The big guys.
Yeah, IBM, Microsoft, Google.
They're all in.
Oh yeah, all vying for that market share.
Mm.
And then you've got other players too.
Like Data Robot, H2O.ai, Databricks, all these companies.
So it's a tough field.
It's tough. It's really tough.
So how's C3.ai going to stand out?
Yeah. How do they cut through the noise?
What's their secret sauce, their competitive edge?
Right.
Well, they say a few things.
What do they claim?
They claim, first of all, they were the first
Okay, first mover.
mover advantage.
Mm.
They say they have a really comprehensive platform.
Makes sense.
Scalability is a big thing for them.
Got to be able to grow.
Deep industry expertise.
Okay, so they know their stuff.
Strong partnerships, and this is interesting, a model-driven architecture
Interesting.
that's supposed to speed up AI application development.
Okay, that sounds impressive.
But are these claims legit?
Yeah, are they really that special?
Are these real advantages?
It's all good on paper, but we got to be critical,
Yeah.
Like, look at this model-driven architecture.
Okay.
Most AI develop. It's a lot of coding, right?
Yeah, it's intense.
Intense. C3.ai says, no, we do it visually.
Okay.
You build applications visually.
So it's faster.
In theory, way faster. But is this unique to them?
Right.
That's what we got to find out.
Is this something their competitors have?
Exactly. How do they really stand out?
So being first is great, but you gotta keep innovating.
Especially in tech. It moves so fast.
Especially in tech.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that jumped out in the research was their relationship with Baker Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
They're an energy giant.
I know them.
And it seems like a big chunk of C3.ai's revenue comes from them, just this one customer. Is that a red flag?
It's definitely something to look at carefully.
Okay.
They call it concentration risk.
Okay.
It's a valid concern. If things go south with Baker Hughes,
Yeah.
C3.ai's revenue could take a hit.
Oh, I see.
It makes them vulnerable. Investors need to know that.
So not a deal breaker, but definitely keep an eye on it.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of things to keep an eye on, the man at the helm, Thomas Siebel,
Oh, yeah, he's a legend.
Silicon Valley legend, he founded Siebel Systems.
The CRM giant, right.
Sold it to Oracle, so the guy knows what he's doing.
He's got a track record.
But does that guarantee a win for C3.ai?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
His track record's awesome, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
He can build software companies. He's proven that.
Yeah.
But AI, it's different.
Okay.
It's a whole different beast.
All right.
So his experience helps,
yeah.
but it's not a guarantee.
Not the only factor.
Not at all. The AI market, it's unique.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing, and the competition, it's fierce.
Okay, so Siebel's experience is a plus,
Definitely.
but it's not the whole story.
No.
Now, let's talk numbers, brass tacks. What's C3.ai's financial health look like?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
They've got good revenue growth. That's encouraging.
It's good.
But they're still operating at a loss.
Oh.
They're aiming for what they call non-GAAP profitability
Okay.
by the end of fiscal year 2024.
Which means?
Basically means they're aiming to be profitable,
Okay.
but they're excluding certain expenses,
All right.
like stock-based compensation, that kind of stuff.
No, is that realistic?
That's what we need to figure out.
Yeah, and to add to that, the estimated intrinsic value of C3.ai,
Yeah.
it's all over the place.
Oh, really?
From $24 a share to negative 0.38.
Wow. That's a huge range.
What does that tell us?
That tells us there's a lot of uncertainty about their future.
Okay.
Big potential, but big risk, too.
Yeah.
We got to figure out, is their current valuation justified?
Okay, last thing on the numbers.
Go ahead.
Price to sales ratio, it's pretty high.
Compared to competitors.
Yeah, compared to their competitors.
What does that tell us?
Well, this ratio, it tells you how much investors are willing to pay for every dollar of the company's sales.
Right.
So a high ratio could mean investors are super optimistic.
Like maybe too optimistic.
Yeah, maybe overly optimistic about C3.ai's future growth.
But it could also be justified, right? They're in a booming market.
They are.
And they've got a unique position.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
It is tricky.
We need to look deeper at their financials
Yeah.
to really understand the full picture.
All right, so we got this high price to sales ratio.
Okay.
Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's a little too much exuberance. Like people are betting on C3.ai being the next big thing, but we don't know yet.
The jury's still out.
The jury's still out. What about the market sentiment overall?
Good question.
Are investors generally like, yeah, this is it? Or are they a little more cautious?
You know, it seems like Wall Street's kind of taking this wait-and-see approach.
Okay.
Analyst ratings are at a hold consensus.
Oh, so they're not saying buy or sell.
Yeah, they're not really sure yet.
So even the experts are on the fence. What about insider trading?
Always interesting.
Has there been any activity that might give us a clue?
You know, what those closest to the company are thinking.
Yeah, what are they doing?
It's been mixed.
Right.
There's been some insider buying, which could mean they're confident. But then there's also been some significant insider selling,
Oh.
which might signal some concerns.
Uh-oh.
Hard to say for sure, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they sell for personal reasons, you know.
True.
Nothing to do with the company's performance.
So more mixed signals.
Exactly.
It's like everyone's looking at C3.ai and thinking this could be huge, but
There's always a but.
there's always a but.
Right.
Now, I want to put on our Warren Buffett hats for a minute.
Okay, I like this.
If the Oracle of Omaha were to analyze C3.ai, what would he say?
What would Warren do?
Would this company fit his, his famous investment principles?
Well, you know, Buffett loves companies with a proven track record of profitability.
Yeah.
And we've said C3.ai, they're not quite there yet.
Not yet.
He also tends to avoid businesses that are too complex
Okay.
or difficult to understand.
And C3.ai, with its, sophisticated AI platform.
And the whole AI market is constantly evolving.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It might be too much for even Warren Buffett.
Possibly. But, Buffett also values a strong balance sheet.
That's true.
And a capable management team.
And C3.ai seems to have those things.
They do.
So would he invest?
It's a tough call. He might be intrigued by the potential of AI.
Yeah, it's a huge market.
And C3.ai's position in it. But he could also be hesitant,
Because of the lack of consistent profitability?
Right, and that complexity of their business model.
Yeah.
I think he'd need to investigate more.
So even Warren Buffett, with all his wisdom and experience, might be on the fence with C3.ai.
He's probably got a team looking into it.
Probably.
As we speak.
All right, let's step back from the speculation for a second.
Right.
What are the key takeaways here? What have we learned about C3.ai so far?
Well, they're in a market with enormous potential, that's for sure.
Yeah,
This AI software market, it's going to explode in the coming years.
it is.
They've got that first mover advantage.
And their platform, it's designed to be, comprehensive and user-friendly.
Yeah.
But they're facing some serious competition.
Right.
From the big tech companies and from those smaller startups.
Yeah, everyone wants a piece of the pie.
Exactly.
And they've got a respected CEO.
Yeah, Siebel's the real deal.
Strong balance sheet, but they're not consistently profitable yet.
Right.
And that reliance on one customer, that's a bit of a concern.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep in mind. Remember, we talked about the challenge.
Competition, profitability.
And they have to keep innovating.
Constantly innovating.
Yeah, it's not easy.
So it's complex.
Very complex.
But C3.ai seems to have a strategy.
They do.
The question is, can they deliver?
That's the million-dollar question.
Can they really stand out from the crowd?
Can they execute on their vision?
Can they build that thriving ecosystem?
And can they actually make money doing it?
Big questions.
Huge questions.
Only time will tell.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
What are your key takeaways from all this? What should people keep in mind when they're looking at C3.ai?
For me, it's a few things. First, do your own research.
Don't just buy into the hype.
Exactly. Dig into their financials, their tech, who they're competing with.
Look under the hood.
Second, remember the risks.
It's a fast-moving market.
Things change quickly.
And lastly, think about your own needs.
Your own goals.
Does C3.ai fit into your vision?
For your business, for your investments.
Good points to consider.
Definitely.
We've covered a lot today.
We have
From their business model to the market, their tech, their financials.
a true deep dive.
It has been.
And like any good deep dive,
Yeah.
we come up with more questions than answers.
That's how it always goes.
But hopefully you've got the knowledge now to keep exploring.
This company, this whole world of AI.
Fascinating.
It is. It is.
So much potential.
All right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
Okay, so we've talked about the C3 AI suite, this platform, but let's get into the specifics.
Yeah, what's it actually like?
What's under the hood? From what I understand, it's supposed to be this really comprehensive platform, right?
It's designed to be, yeah.
That handles like every step of the AI journey.
Start to finish.
You build it, you deploy it, you even manage the AI applications all in one place.
That's the idea. Yeah. Think of it as the foundation you need
okay.
to create and run AI.
Yeah.
But like at a big scale, like enterprise level.
So our whole company?
Exactly. You've got tools for integrating all your data.
Okay.
Developing those AI models, deploying them as applications, and then even the stuff that comes after.
The ongoing stuff, yeah.
Right, like monitoring, making sure everything's working right, security, all of that.
So it sounds pretty complex.
It can be, yeah.
So this is really for like the data scientists.
Yeah.
The developers, those who are building the solutions.
Right, but it also has to work for the businesses, right?
Yeah.
The ones who might not be, super tech savvy.
Right, because managing all that data, analyzing it.
It can be a real challenge.
Especially for those companies that aren't used to working with AI.
Exactly. So how does C3.ai help with that?
Yeah, how do they make it easier?
Well, they're saying their platform is built to handle that complexity.
Okay.
Traditional data analytics tools, they often struggle with all that.
Because the data's messy?
It's super messy. You've got different systems, different formats. It's all over the place.
Yeah, a real headache.
And C3.ai saying, nope, we can handle it.
Yeah. So they're all about scalability.
And flexibility, being able to adapt to, whatever data you throw at it.
No matter the size or the structure.
That's the goal.
Okay, so that's the AI suite, the platform. But what about those pre-built applications?
The C3 AI applications.
Yeah, those are the ones designed for specific industries, right?
Exactly. And that's where they're really trying to differentiate themselves.
Okay, so they're not just saying, here's the platform, good luck.
No, they're saying, we've got solutions ready to go just for you.
It's tailored to your needs.
Based on your industry, yeah.
So they're trying to make AI adoption easier.
Lower the barrier to entry, make it less intimidating.
So if I'm like an oil and gas company.
They might have an application specifically for, optimizing drilling operations.
Or if I'm in healthcare, they might have one to help with like patient outcomes.
Exactly. So it's like they've taken the AI platform and built specialized tools on top of it.
But how good are these pre-built applications.
That's the question, isn't it?
Are they really as good as they say they are?
It's hard to say without actually trying them out.
Yeah.
Seeing how they perform in the real world.
Because they're marketing them as being very advanced, innovative.
Of course they are. That's their job.
But we have to be skeptical.
Always.
We need to see some independent reviews, case studies, maybe compare them to the competition.
Yeah, see how they stack up.
Okay, so we need more info on those applications.
Agreed.
Now, let's go back to this model-driven architecture they talk about.
Okay.
They say it makes AI development faster, easier, but how?
Well, it's kind of like this. Imagine you're building a house.
Right.
Traditionally, you lay every brick, one by one.
Very time-consuming.
A lot of work, right. But what if you can use pre-made walls?
Oh, like they're already assembled.
Exactly. So instead of laying each brick, you're just putting up these walls.
Makes us faster.
Much faster. And that's kind of what a model-driven architecture does for AI.
Okay, so instead of writing all that code,
Line by line, yeah.
developers are working with these like bigger chunks.
More abstract representations of the data and the processes.
So it's more visual, I guess.
It can be, yeah. You're not getting bogged down in the nitty-gritty of the code.
Which can make it easier for people to learn.
And use potentially opening up AI development to a wider range of people.
Right, because not everyone's a coding expert.
Exactly. And that's a big advantage, especially now when finding good AI talent is so difficult.
It's a real challenge.
Companies are fighting over these skilled developers.
Now we got to talk about generative AI. We can't ignore it.
Oh, the hype is real.
It's everywhere. So how's C3.ai getting involved in that?
Well, they've jumped in. They've released their own generative AI suite.
Okay, so they're not sitting this one out.
Nope. They're calling it C3 Generative AI.
Makes sense.
And they're saying it's designed to make generative AI more practical,
For businesses, yeah.
easier to use,
Yeah.
more accessible.
They're focusing on things like natural language processing.
Being able to understand and generate human language.
Generating code automatically, and then some advanced data analysis stuff.
Really pushing the boundaries there.
From what I've read, they're really emphasizing a few things.
Like what?
Combining different types of AI models, summarizing huge amounts of text, and this is important, making sure that the AI's output is traceable and secure.
It's huge, especially with all the concerns around generative AI.
Yeah, the bias, the potential for inaccuracies.
And even generating harmful content.
Yeah, the AI going rogue.
So being able to trace back to see where the AI got its information.
To understand its decision-making process.
That's essential for building trust.
So C3.ai wants to be seen as a leader in this whole enterprise generative AI space.
They're certainly positioning themselves that way.